y'all, and welcome back to another video of My Creative Life with Kelssweetie, where we read books and we make art. Today, we are talking about my August TBR. It is Artist Appreciation Month, and I have a lot of memoirs on my physical TBR. As y'all know, I am not one for memoirs. However, when I do read a memoir, I have a great time. And I think that I need to find the time to knock out some memoirs. Because of that, I have tons of memoirs this month. I do have a ton of ARCs this month and physical reads and a graphic novel, which that's crazy. Now, I do have one fiction, and that is for the Sweethearts Book Club pick for this August. We took a break in July because I was a part of the readathon, and we are back this month with a physical read. I know, and it's overwhelming. This is a very interesting TBR I got for y'all today. So I'm hoping that it's a bit of a shorter one, because it's not really synopsises or anything like that, really like fiction-wise, but it is a lot of memoirs and some great book covers. I picked some of these books because of their amazing book covers, which y'all know I'm a book cover designer, and I pick books based off their covers. So if that's any interest to you on what I'll be reading this month, then stick around and we'll get into it right after the intro. As I mentioned in the intro, August is Artist Appreciation Month here in America, and I thought this would be the perfect time for me to knock out some memoirs. We'll see how I do. Now, this stack that I have, that I'm starting off with, I actually do have the audiobooks for. There is a very small amount, that I'm still waiting on off of Libby, and we'll hit it as we come. But I do have some continuances from July that are fiction reads. So I want to see if I can knock those out within the first week of August. As y'all see, I'm not used to it being August yet. And then get into these memoirs. So first off, for my continuances, first off is a memoir, but it's a fake memoir, and that's Jim Carrey's Memoirs of Misinformation. I started this last month. I'd read too many reviews about it, and I think that it kind of tainted my idea of what the book might be about, which is that it's very chaotic. It's a lot of people ended it kind of feeling like, what did I just read? Because none of it's true. None of it's really a memoir. It's more so a metaphor and an allegory for some things that Jim Carrey has experienced in his life, rather than actual anything that's a memoir. So either I'll walk away from this going, wow, that was amazing and weird, and I've never read anything like that, or I'll go, that was a waste of time. I'm not sure. With how long it is, I'm hoping that it's not that long and arduous, but again, I wish I had never read so many reviews about it, so I could go into it a little bit more blind. I am going to try and knock this out because this was originally on my TBR for August, and then I pulled a card that I felt was right for me to read it during July, and then I was nearing the end of the month and I freaked out and I read Sugar by Mia Ballard instead. So we're still seeing if we can continue this, especially because my Libby is running out on this soon, so we'll get into it soon. The other one is When We Were Real, which has to do kind of with this idea of this parallel universe where it's low-key the Matrix. Like, everyone has found out that none of it's real, really, and the main character and his best friend are going on a trip, kind of like bucket list, where they see the wonders of the world that have to do with like this new Matrix or this new world that they've uncovered. And it's with this tour trip of like octogenarians and a pregnant influencer and a like this influencer who's kind of like a flat earther type of guy, like all these different ragtag group of people. So far it is good. I have started reading it, but it was a 13-hour audiobook, and I knew I wanted to get in one more book for the readathon, which is why this became a continuance. But I am excited to read this going into this upcoming month. I feel like it's a very creative idea, and it has to do with AI and all of that. So I still feel like it kind of meets the brief of things being artistic this month. So yeah, those are my continuances for the month. My first official book that I've not started reading yet for the TBR is for August is Zom 100 by Kotaro Takada. This is a graphic novel, and more so, it's a manga. I haven't read manga since I was a kid. My cousins were into it. I wasn't. Now, I would look at those pages, and they literally taught me how to draw, but I didn't really read them. I would check them out from the library just so that I could copy the pages, and I would find my cousin's manga and read them only slightly so that I could copy the pictures out of it, and that's how I learned how to draw, but I never really read them or got into them. My best friend loves manga, or at least the shows that the anime that the manga they're based on. I saw this and I was like, Oh, I'd love to read that. I also know this is now a show, Zom 100, and basically Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. It has to do with this, like, our main guy, Akira, who he's just like 24 years old and he's not really loving life. And then the zombie apocalypse happens, and he's like, finally, something important happened, and he's having the best time of his life as he tries to survive the zombie apocalypse. And I was like, that sounds fun. That just sounds like a lot of fun. It's not that long of a book. And the pictures in it are gorgeous. Absolutely love it. And it seems really, really like something I would like and just to knock out. And if I know there's a bunch of different volumes of this, so if I end up getting into it, hopefully I can try and finish the series. I don't know. But I have been wanting to get into more graphic novels, and I feel like this may be the thing to kind of start that. And I may have a manga era. Who knows, y'all? This may be the start of an era. The other book that I wanted to share that's officially on my TBR is one of the few fictions, if one of the only real fictions I may get to other than the manga and, of course, my continuances. And that is our sweet read for the month of August for the Sweethearts Book Club over on Patreon and Fable, and that is White is for Witching by Helen Oyemi. So this has been everywhere. Tons of people constantly talk about this. It does have to do with a house, and it's like a xenophobic house and the people that live in it. Honestly, based on the synopsis, I don't get a lot from it, but people are constantly recommending this book, and it's talking about ghosts, and I'm very excited to learn what it's maybe about. Here's the problem. There's no audiobook for this, which doesn't make sense considering how many people talk about this. So it will be a physical read, another physical read. I know I'm losing it because I don't physically read. And should I have given this even as an example of like for a choice for the month of August? No, probably not. But y'all, it was a landslide on who wanted to read this. And so we're doing it. It is 283 pages. I think I can do it. The words aren't too huge. Let's hope. Let's hope that I love it. We're gonna move on. The next portion of this are nothing but memoirs. So let's round this up pretty quickly. First up is A Song for You by Robin Crawford, My Life with Whitney Houston. So if you don't know, Robin Crawford was Whitney Houston's best friend, and as we've learned, her lover. Whitney Houston was bisexual, although it was in the closet for many, many years. Although also, once we all really found out and it became more mainstream to know this, looking back, there were many situations where you went, yeah, Whitney was Houston. Whitney Houston was bisexual. That was clear in many different ways. But unfortunately, it was hidden. She was in the closet for many years and was not very much out about it. And Robin Crawford was her best friend, but also it was very clear that they were probably together. They were probably in a relationship of some sort. And she ended up writing a memoir about it after Whitney had died. I found this at the thrift store, and I was really interested. I wanted to hear about her life from a best friend, from her eyes. And I saw a couple of reviews here and there because I was concerned, like, okay, well, how many people actually felt like this was real? And the reviews for it are really great. So I'm looking forward to this. I do have the audiobook already for it, and I'm happy and excited to this will probably be the first memoir that I really get into this upcoming month. The next book I recently picked up, and I picked it up because of the cover. I have no shame about that, but also I really, really want to learn more about MF Doom because I love his music, and that is The Chronicles of Doom, Unraveling Rap's Mask Iconoclast? I think I'm saying that right. It's an autobiography. Let's get into the cover, y'all, because y'all know how I love an illustrated cover, and certainly so. That is what we're getting here. Let's get into the spine. And then we got the backing right there. Oh my gosh. Astra House. Yeah, outdid yourself. Who did the cover? Let's see here. Jacket design by L'Amour Supreme. Gotta follow them. And the author of photography is by Cheryl Kenyon. But the author he's just a writer and a journalist. But I'm pretty positive that it's really just a study of MF Doom's entire life. As you know, it was probably a couple of years back now. I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years back now. It was like 2020 or 2021. MF Doom passed. And it was really a shake. Like, I was somebody who was really got into underground hip hop from listening to Doom's work and production. He's up there with Dilla, who I'll talk about later on in this video. But this is really a look at his life and his career. Super excited about this one. I really do hope that it's eye-opening on his career, and he was just a creative beast of a man. So I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah. And I hope that I like it because this cover is insanely amazing, y'all. I all month we're talking about covers. The next one on this list is one that I also found at the thrift store, and I'm really looking forward to it. That is Prince, The Beautiful Ones. This is one of the many autobiographies that came out about Prince. This one is more of a, it's very much more picture-based, so this isn't going to be a very, long one. I think the audiobook is only 4 hours or so, maybe 3. So it's not something that's crazy long or anything. But I think it'll be cool to flip through here while I listen to it. I just think that it's gorgeous. And I am waiting for the other Prince autobiography that I have to release from an audiobook as well. But I thought that I would finally get to this. I picked it up, and honestly, I can't believe that it was even at the thrift store. I'm a huge Prince fan, and so I'm really happy to finally be get to some of his autobiographies. The next one is one that everybody in the world has talked about crazy in 2020, and that was Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner, sorry. I always see it, and I think it's because of how Michelle looks. Zauner. I am looking forward to this. A lot of people said it was an emotional ride of many different sorts. Now, did I accidentally order the large print version when I got my free books from my internship with Random House? Absolutely. It's humongous. But it doesn't change the fact of what's in here. So I am looking forward to this. I know that she was a musician, and this is about her life, especially in regards to her mother and their tumultuous relationship. And I'm ready to cry like everybody else was when they read this book. So I do finally have this audiobook, and I'm hoping to move through this as well. Now, the next one is one that I am concerned about because I have tried to pick it up before, and I was not ready for it. It was just a little bit long-winded for my opinion, but I think that I wasn't prepared for it, and I only got about, I don't even want to say a quarter of the way through it, but nearly a quarter, and that was Dilla Time. This was the life and afterlife of J Dilla, the hip-hop producer who reinvented rhythm. So this is an autobiography of J Dilla's life. The portions that I did read were amazing. Apparently, J Dilla was like a cousin or something to Stevie Wonder. That was crazy, and there's plenty of other things that were in here. I will be starting it over just because I want to have the continuous. I don't just want to pick up where I left it. But I think that I'm maybe more so ready for it now. I will say it's thick. The man had a life. And it was very detailed, but I am looking forward to what it will bring. One thing that I really loved about this is that there was a lot of different portions that had even pictures and on how he would come up with his music, what NPCs he was using, things like here, where how he would think of music visually, and he was just the Mozart of our time. And it was really tragic, him getting sick and passing. And even to this day, I think that his life was shrouded in so much legend and everything. Again, just like MF Doom. So I'm really excited to get to this and reading MF Doom, because I feel like both of those people, they're both mentioned in the same sentences a lot of times when you talk about those people who love hip hop and really respect it as an art form. So I'm looking forward to reading this, and I do have the audiobook, so I'm hoping I can knock these out one after the other. Another physical read that I'm trying to get to, and I started it earlier this year, and I'm trying to continue it through. I'm going to finish it by the end of this year. That was Black Punk Now by Chris Spooner and James Spooner and Chris Terry. James Spooner is the creator of Afropunk. He was the creator of Afropunk until it went commercial and was no longer punk. The portion that I did read in here so far has been really fantastic. I've only gotten through a little portion of it, but I do want to finish this sometime this upcoming month because it is extremely artistic. One, because almost all of it is basically illustrated. Oh, here, one moment. It's illustrated. It's very, very visual. There's art in here, there's interviews in here, there's stories in here, and it's just about punk rock music, being Black, loving punk rock music, the history of it, and how really punk music is the Blackest thing you could be into as a revolutionary. So I really loved what I read so far, and I'm hoping that this month I can get to it and read through it physically. Last 3 books that I have on a very maybe are 3 art copies that I thank you so much to Riverhead Books for giving me these copies. I am truly, truly thankful for what you've really passed on to me. I'm hoping that I can maybe read one of these before the release date, because two of them are in August and the other one is already out, and I didn't get to it because, again, they're physical. But the first one is one that is already out. It came out on July 22nd, and that is Necessary Fiction by Elogosha Asunde. Let's get into the cover. We love a cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's I think that this cover was actually made because she is an artist, but it's about a journey. It's about it takes place in Lagos, which a lot of books that I've read as of recently that I've really enjoyed are taking place in Lagos, and it has to do really with these main characters as it's a conversation of life and literary fiction. So it's a physical read. I know that's why I kind of have it on a maybe list, but it does have to do with being queer in Nigeria. So, and that's a huge thing for me to kind of get into after reading Little Rot last year and having such a great time with it. While I'm not expecting this to be as visceral as Little Rot was and something more like understated, I am really excited to finally get to it. So amongst all the other physical reads that are coming up this month, this is the main one that I want to finish. Although it's already out, I do really want to get to this one already. The other two are coming out later on this month, and one's coming up on the 12th and one's on the 19th. The 12th is Woman Seated by Shang Yuran. I apologize if I'm saying that last name wrong. Riverhead, these covers you guys are coming up with, gorgeous, just absolutely amazing. This book is about a Chinese couple and their nanny, Yu Ling. Basically, let me read the synopsis to you. Slipping in and out of the shadows, meticulous in her care of their only son, she has served the family for years and knows their secrets. But little do they suspect that Yu Ling has secrets of her own. In the pressure cooker political environment of China, the fates of even the most powerful families can reverse overnight. When the family becomes the subject of government investigation, their fortunes crumble and the nanny is left to make a series of life-changing choices. How far will she go to claim her doom? It seems approachable. This one seems definitely approachable in its length, and it sounds not really like interesting. Again, another literary fiction, but suspense driven. It even says Nobel winner Mo Yan said vivid, smart, and suspenseful. I hope that it is suspenseful to kind of push me through something that's a physical read. I know that something like necessary fiction may be a little hard because it is literary fiction, but this seems up my alley on something that'll really move. And finally, my last book that's coming out August 19th is Ruth by Kate Riley. Again, amazing, amazing cover. Absolutely love this. This one is, I'm really looking forward to reading. I do think that it will, I don't know if I'll have it done before it releases, though. I know that for a fact. Ruth is raised in a snow globe of Christian communism, a world without private property, television, or tolerance for idle questions. Every morning she braids her hair and wears the same costume and sings the same breakfast song in a family room identical to every other family room in the community. Every one of these moments is meant to be a prayer, but to Ruth, they remain puzzles. Her life is seen and glimpses of childhood, marriage, and motherhood as she tries to manage her own perilous curiosity in a community built on holy misery. Is she happy? Might this in fact be happiness? Ruth immerses us in an experience that challenges our most fervent beliefs. So, really looking forward to this. Of course, this is questioning religion, misogyny within religion, a bit of a cult. I think it's giving Waco, Texas, very much Waco, Texas. I'm trying to remember the name of that Netflix documentary that had to do with the experience of those who were in Waco. But that's what this feels like it's based off of, and I'm very much interested in that. So while I do feel like, while this is a physical read, I'll move through this because it sounds like a topic that I'm really, really into and I'm excited to get to. I just don't know if I'm going to get it done by August 19th with everything else that I have on my list. That is it for my August TBR, y'all. Yes, it is extremely long, but also I feel like there's a lot here that's just either an audiobook or it's not that long of a read. I do have a lot of physical reads that I want to throw in there. I think I'm feeling a little high on myself after finishing some physical reads last month. But we're gonna see if I can get through it. I wanna challenge myself to really start moving through some physical reads because I know there's things on my TBR, my physical TBR right now that I haven't gotten to because they are physical and I'm afraid to pick them up off of just wanting to have enough time to read them. But I am excited. I feel like it's going to be a very knowledge-filled month. If you are interested whatsoever in hearing me my thoughts on these as I move through them, then make sure you become a Patreon over on a patron on my Patreon. If you are at the lowest tier, you will have access to my logs where I will be throughout the month giving short videos on my thoughts as I move throughout these books. They'll be even more in depth than my wrap-ups usually are, and you will kind of hear more about what's happening in the book and how I'm feeling about it as I'm moving through it. So make sure you go check that out. My highest tier, you will get a physical reward as well along with that extra content. So, you know, check it out if you're interested in any of that. If you are interested in any of these books though, I will have them in my binnable list down below. They are kind of like the Amazon list that you see everywhere, but instead of having to buy them off of Amazon, you can buy them anywhere. So I'll have them linked below if you're interested in any of these, just to make it easier to just click over to get over to where you could buy them from. Yeah, that's the word, guys. I've been shooting videos all day today. Sun's getting real low. But I hope that you enjoyed today's video today, and please subscribe down below if you're looking forward to me talking more in depth about these books later on this month or next month. I also have a lot of book recommendations that aren't memoirs, I know, but my usual horror and weird lit recommendations. I have some more of those coming later on this month, along with, of course, the Halloween content is still coming strong, and we're finishing up some Summerween vlogs. So make sure that you follow me if you're looking forward to any of those things. And like today's video if you liked it. Thank you guys so much. I'd love to hear what you guys are reading this August for Artist Appreciation Month. Let's get some manga out there. You know, let's get that back in the swerve. I feel like there was a huge manga thing, and then we missed it at some point. Like it went away. I don't know. Let's bring it back for Artist Appreciation Month. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.